Here we are again on the 3rd floor with a call for heat. Hopefully the water start to circulate so we'll get some more bleeding out of here. Let's see. Nothing thus far. We do got a little bit of here. I can hear it coming. Oh, but there's not much. So I think we're gonna need, yes, what we're gonna need is to repressurize the system because it ain't getting it here. So stay tuned. We're going down to the basement. We'll be right back. All right, now folks, we're heading down into the basement. We're gonna take a look at our boiler. All right, folks, we have headed down into the basement. We're gonna take a look at our boiler, see what the water pressure is. Now, I did turn all the thermostats in the house down so this puppy doesn't kick on down here working on it. Not that it really matters, but let's see. Okay, so we got decent pressure here, but you gotta remember that the water is hot, so that increases the pressure. So I don't think we got enough pressure. We're gonna do a little bit of an intake up here on the feed from the street. Now, remember, water from the street right here can come in at approximately 70 PSI. That is too much PSI for our system, as we just learned. So what we got here is a pressure reducing device. And what this does is change 70 PSI pressure coming in from the street, town of Colony, into 12 PSI going into my system. If we didn't have this, our whole system would be totally fucked. What we got here on this little lever is a manual override. So we can flick this up and it'll allow water in quick. So I'm gonna do that just gently and you're gonna hear it. And this increasing the pressure into the boiler. Now when I do this, I just do a little bit at a time because I do not want to overpressurize the system, cause an issue. If it did get above 30 PSI, which I know we spoke about, we got this boiler relief valve, which will burst open and put all the water right here in my floor to release the pressure. Now, wouldn't be the end of the world, but I don't like mouthing. So we keep doing this gently, and we periodically go and check the pressure on the pressure reader. Now, we haven't really moved the needle much, which is probably okay, because we're trying to be safe and we're trying to be smart. If we was trying to be really smart, I probably would have turned off the electricity to the boiler. But given my expertise and understand the functionality of the boiler and how the electric currents flow into the machine, I know that I'm safe in this particular scenario. But for your regular, do-it-yourself home owner, I would recommend turning power off to the boiler, not only at the breaker, but also at the manual switch valve, which is located here on all boilers. This is a building code requirement. Every single household will have one of these. Now, I don't feel risky, so I'm gonna give it a little more pressure because I think we got 3 floors of house here, and this feels okay to me. So while we is down here, I'll do a quick diagnostic of the functionality of the boiler. It's a pretty simple system. So as I was talking about, the water comes in through the street, goes through the pressure reducing valve, down here into the boiler, goes down this pipe, flows in there, where it gets heated up to approximately 180 degrees of hot boiling water. Then it comes up these pipes. This is what we call a supply line. We've got 3 zones in this house. We got the downstairs, we got the upstairs, and we got the back kitchen area. Then we follow these pipes all the way throughout the house. They go up to our so-called radiators that are supposed to be working, pumping that 180 degree water throughout the house. Next, the water flows back through them radiators into our return pipes. Now, these are hot pipes. If they ain't hot, you got something going on. And we had a main issue with this, our 3rd floor return pipe, and I couldn't get this sucker hot. And that's why I'm bleeding this radiator. Now, the water comes through the return pipes, goes down in here, goes into our taco return valves. What this machine does here is circulate the water back into the boiler. And that's it, folks. And that's how you get 180 degree water producing heat for a big old house. Now that our system is repressurized to approximately 18 PSI, we're heading back up to the 3rd floor, the highest in the house, the last bleed. And we're gonna sit here and we're gonna pray. Now, thank you to our sponsors, Fit Aid, for providing us with the necessary nutrition to ensure that 1, we can get up and down all these stairs, and 2, that we don't fuck up. The natural BCAAs, essential vitamins, and natural flavored and sweetened strawberry lemonade keeps me. Now cross your fingers and hope. We're getting more air than we was. This is good. Listen to this. Sounds like a little baby farting. Well, I'll be damned. We've been here over by sponsorship, draining that radiator, bleeding it, and it was working, but it wasn't working great. And I was wondering why. And I think it may have found a culprit. We got another radiator here in the shitter on the 3rd floor that I didn't know about. I think we're gonna have to bleed this one. I bet they intertwined, and that was part of the reason we ain't getting no pressure up here. So let's bleed and pray. All right, here we is, back down in the basement next to the boiler. We take a look at this manual reading here. Since we did some bleeding up on that 3rd floor, looks like our pressure has gone down approximately 3 psi, which probably means that we ain't got no pressure to pump that hot water coming out of here. Reminder, 180 degrees, copper pipe. We don't got enough pressure to pump that hot water. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 stories above our heads right now. So what we're gonna do is take a spin back over to the feed, and we're gonna go to our pressure reducing valve, and we're gonna add some water. Same as before, we're gonna be gentle because we don't want to burst the system, but I feel comfortable being a little bit more liberal than last time, understanding that we can bleed the system if necessary. And as always, we do got our pressure relief valve down here just in case anything goes absolutely haywire. Okay, stay tuned. We're gonna add some water, see what the pressure goes up to now. I'm gonna go take a look right now. I bet it's only going up PSI because I don't got my valve turned all the way to the left, and I ain't really flipping this thing open. I'm being very gentle because I'm a little bit scared as your regular do-it-yourself handyman homeowner. Back over to the pressure valve. Okay, we did get a little action there. We're pushing about 20. I think we're gonna have to go to about 20 for this house, honestly, up on the 3rd floor. So we're gonna give it a little more. Then we're gonna kick that thermostat back on the 2nd floor, which controls the 3rd floor loop. And we gonna be cooking with gas. Back to the 3rd floor we go. Hope and pray that we get a little something. It's gonna take a while to get up here. It's so high up, but hope we got something. Well, I'll be damned. Well, I will be damned. I'm standing over here where the water comes up, and oh my gosh, I'm just gonna take my finger off here. Look at that. That's a 180-degree burn right there, because we got heat on the motherfucking 3rd floor, baby.